What if it's not intuition? What if it's anxiety? What if what you're calling a download is actually a story your nervous system is telling to feel more in control? We romanticize the third eye. We talk about visions and psychic gifts and seeing beyond the veil, but no one talks about projection. No one talks about how easy it is to confuse fear with guidance, intensity with truth, urgency with destiny. Today, we're cleaning the lens. In this episode of Bringing the Light Online, we descend the light from the soul star through the crown and into the third eye. Not to amplify fantasy here, but to refine perception. Because real intuition is calm. It doesn't panic, it doesn't shout, it doesn't rush you, it simply rests. And if your guidance feels chaotic, dramatic, or overwhelming, it might not be guidance at all. It might be distortion. So today we activate clear seeing, no projections, no performance, no spiritual theatrics, just calm, grounded discernment. The transmission, I see clearly. Let's bring the light online. Hello, hello, lovelies, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Sovereign Goddess podcast and this series of Bringing the Light Online. I feel like it's such a perfect time to really do these activations. And as you know, I've been doing these different series that have been preparing us for the rhythm and the momentum of this year. And this series is just, the more I dive into it, the more I'm like, ooh, this is good. So if you've missed the last two, make sure you go ahead and check it out. We started with the soul star chakra, and then we dropped into the crown. And today we're going to bring the light online in our third eye. And every time we bring the light down, we anchor it into the earth so that it is more grounded. If the light is grounded, it means that it's more tangible and it's real, and you can use it in your life. You can use it to shift your life, to create, right? The light becomes accessible to us. So if you've been following this series so far, well done. If you've been missing, or if this is your first time joining us, make sure you catch the previous one. And before I begin, if you didn't know, so once a month I do these goddess clinics where you can come in and simply just receive, and I bring through a beautiful light language activation or transmission to help bring you back into balance wherever you need that, whether it's healing, clearing, activation. And my beautiful friend Nicolette comes in and helps you ground that intense light code energy through journaling and contemplation. It is a beautiful process. We just did one. Like last week for this month. The next one will be March 14th. So make sure you click on that link and register for it. You don't want to miss it. This is our way of contributing to the world at this time to help more people to find home within themselves, find peace and clarity within themselves. Whatever it is that they need, it's more of a space to be held, right? So click on the link and register. All right. So today we're talking about the third eye. The third eye, mostly what is known is that is right in between our eyebrows. So like right here between, yeah, like right at the center of our head. But I believe that the third eye is actually inside of our brain. Like I feel like this part right here is almost like the window to the shop where you can kind of look in. But the true sight is in the pineal. So it's like right at the back of the head. Yeah, I see like this location as like the door, and when you open the door, it goes to the true sight, which is at the back of the head. at the pineal gland. So the pineal gland is actually the third eye. And it's really cool because now when I ask you to focus on your third eye, I want you to move beyond here. So you enter the door and then you're going to move to the deep into the brain to connect. And when that gets activated, you'll feel different. And of course, we're going to be bringing through the light to clear your vision. The third eye is about inner vision. The third eye is about clarity. It's about clarity of thought because it is in our mind, it is in our brain, right? It's about our insight, spiritual insight, especially. And it's also huge on dreams. So when we're dreaming, this is the part that is activated and connecting us to all the different dimensions, right? So we started with the soul star, and that aspect is about remembering who you are, right? Activating the remembrance of who you are. And then we dropped into the crown where it's like, I am guided. And then now we're moving into our gift or our center of clear seeing. So the third eye, or again, the pineal gland, is really the center of our intuition. This is where you receive the seed of light, right, from your soul star, which is the center of who you are, and then it drops into your crown. It's still not tangible yet, and then it drops into your third eye where you can begin to perceive it. You can begin to see it with your inner eyes, right? And it's still not tangible, but this is where we get to see. We get to begin to have the insights of what wants to come through or what it is that we are calling in, right? It is such a beautiful portal within us. And I feel like we've been working with it kind of like in a game, kind of like not taking it serious, right? Because, a lot of our like psychic gifts, highly intuitive, like that's all from this center, but it needs to be cleaned, right? So that you can receive a clear picture of what is coming through. So, because when your nervous system hijacks it, then you begin to see the fears that are being projected through your nervous system. So it has to be anchored into your soul star or even straight to the divine so that all that insight, all that intuitive nudges, intuitive hits will be coming straight from the divine to you and not from the fear or the anxiety. And that's the thing, like when we get these, maybe we should just go into that. What happens when this energy center, when this portal within us, deep within our brain, when it is out of balance, this is where we're overthinking. This is where we start to feel anxiety about, like about what we're thinking or what it is that we want to bring through, the ideas that are coming through. This is where we start to move into fantasy and be stuck in fantasy. So not being able to recognize what is fantasy and what is real, right? When this portal is distorted, it can pull you in that direction. Also, hyper analyzing things, right? You're trying to analyze everything. It's almost like you're looking at the location of this portal. You can see why, like the overthinking and the hyper analysis, like the mind or the brain basically goes into hyperdrive, right? It just and also, when it's out of balance, it's like mistaking your fear for intuition. Here's the thing, and I talked a little bit about intuition or the difference at the beginning with the intro, but intuition is calm, it's clear, and it's coming from a deeper place. It's almost like most of the time you can't even explain where it's coming from. I don't want to say intuition, comes from, let's say, your core or your heart, because each of us, we have a different intuition center, right? And it is very uniquely designed to us, right? Some people feel your intuition in your stomach. Some people feel it in your chest. Some people, you might feel it through your third eye, right? It depends. So maybe for you, as you're receiving this activation today, pay attention to where in your body is also activated as we're clearing this portal of your third eye. Where is your intuition within your body? right? That's going to be interesting. We always assume that intuition is here, but it's very different for everyone, depending on what gifts are online, right? So when, the shadow aspect or when the third eye portal is distorted, we tend to overthink things. We tend to project things from a place of fear, from a place of anxiety. We tend to fantasize instead of actually perceiving. We tend to experience like spiritual delusions, hyper analysis, like hyper analyzing everything. And we tend to also mistake our fear for intuition. When this portal is integrated in its expression, then this is where we start to feel clear, or we start to receive that clear perception. This is where we get that discernment. So being able to tell what is real and what is paranoia, what is coming from that fear, what is coming from the trauma, right? Discernment is huge here. This is the center where discernment comes from. When it is balanced, it's intuition grounded in reality, right? It's seeing without distortion and this inner calm knowing. So, how do you know if something is intuition or if it is a projection? Here's the thing, not everything is intuition. Intuition again feels calm is it when it comes through, right? It's coming from somewhere deeper, deeper within yourself or from your core truth, right? It's anchored. Um, if it is a projection, this projection is when the mind is trying to fill in the gaps with its own fear, with its own desires, with its own unresolved stories, right? Projection feels convincing, but it's not clear. Intuition doesn't rush you. It doesn't pressure you into immediate action. It doesn't spiral into catastrophic thinking. It doesn't argue for its own validity. It is steady. You just know, right? It's like when you receive an intuitive hit, you just know. There's no question about it. You might not be able to explain it, but you just know this is anchored in truth. Projection, on the other hand, feels charged most of the time. So with projection, you might feel like tightness in your chest, racing thoughts, a need to resolve something immediately, a narrative that gets louder the more you think about it. It feels panicked. If you get these feelings and you start thinking, okay, I think I'm getting an intuitive hit, but you're getting all this nervousness, this tightness in the chest, like you have to prove something. You know, it's not intuition. It is just projection. It's just your mind and your nervous system trying to fill in the gaps. Instead of just allowing what wants to come through to come through. Intuition is simple. It's simple. It is what it is. What comes through is what it is. Projection tends to be detailed. Okay. Intuition is often short. It's not right. Something like it's not right. Wait, call her. Don't do it. Right. It's like short command forms. I don't even know if command is the word, but it usually comes in where it's like, okay, take this action, do this. Right. And again, it's not pushy. It just comes in with that clarity and like this assurance. I don't know if that's the word either. Right. I want you to check in with your own intuition. How can you tell the difference between your intuition or when your brain is trying to survive or figure something else? How can you tell? If you're anchored in your intuition right now, like tune into your body, tap into your intuition. How does that feel? And where is that in your body? Just take note of it. And if you can't feel anything right now, wait till after the activation and then check in again. One of the things that comes from a grounded, balanced third eye, apart from the intuition, well, from the intuition also comes insight. So let's talk about insight and imagination, because imagination is also a part of the third eye. when it gets out of hand, we know what that can do, right? So how do you know if it is insight or imagination? Insight creates spaciousness. And it always brings clarity. Even if it is hard to hear, it tends to bring clarity. With insight, you will feel grounded, centered, and present. But imagination can be beautiful, but when it's mixed with fear, it tends to inflate. It is like it magnifies, right? It takes a small uncertainty and builds an entire future around it. That's not perception, right? That's storytelling here. But it is that, you're building something that is not even um, anchored in reality because it's coming from fear or the trauma or whatever it is that is ruling it, right? So here's the thing: intuition respects your nervous system. True intuition works with your body. That's why I kept bringing you back into your body. Like, how does that feel? It works with your body. You might feel like a subtle warmth or a tingling or a settling or even just a quiet knowing. I tend to feel quiet knowing. It just is, it just is. Like, that's the best way I can describe it. And projection tends to activate survival. And I think projection is correlated to survival, our need to survive, right? So with projection, you can feel hyper alert, defensive, activated, right? So you can see there's two different feelings in the energy. One is more constrictive, the other one is more open and grounded and calm. So if your nervous system is dysregulated, your perception will also be distorted. If your nervous system is dysregulated, your perception will also be distorted. That is why clarity requires calm. Clarity requires calm. Our intuition doesn't require us to prove ourselves. Okay. It doesn't argue. It doesn't seek validation. It doesn't need you to convince everyone else. Projection needs reinforcement, but intuition doesn't. Projection replays things. It rehearses things. It seeks evidence to confirm itself. The third eye isn't really about seeing more. It's about seeing clearly. It's about filtration. It's about pausing long enough to ask, is this fear? Is this desire? Or is it clear perception? Am I truly receiving what wants to come through? Or am I making this up so that it fits the narrative of the story? Sometimes what we call intuition is just a wounded part trying to protect itself. And we've all experienced this. And that's not wrong, but it's not guidance either. It is important for us to realize that, or to be aware of that. That part of us that is feeling like it needs to protect itself, so that we can actually be with that part of us, so that we can bring light to that part of us through our awareness. What does that part of us need? So that it doesn't have to hijack what wants to come through, or the truth of what wants to come through. When the third eye is integrated, you can really feel the difference. Projection is loud, intuition is quiet. Projection tightens, intuition settles. Projection spirals, and intuition rests. You're not here to predict the future. You are here to perceive the present, to be in the present, to experience the present. And when perception is clear, decisions become simple. Not easy, just simple. What this part of my portal is one of my main gifts. the gift of knowing. I just know. And even the way I receive the information, right, from the divine or from my core truth, or from, the core truth of all that is, right? It comes through, and I might experience it as images or just a feeling in my body, but it is definitely in my body, right? It comes through my body. One of the things that made my life very easy. And if you're a fan of human design, so in human design, you can, you learn if you are, for example, a manifestor, manifesting generator, a generator, like the designs basically. I'm a manifesting generator. And one of the things about manifesting generator and generators is that you wait before you make a decision, right? The first time I read it, I was like, oh my God, what do you mean by wait, right? What does that mean? But the more I worked with it, I realized this when I'm doing something, my body tells me, the intuition of my body makes it so clear where my energy needs to go or where my energy wants to go and where it doesn't. And the way it does this is when it is right for me, my whole body lights up. Like I get so excited, my physical body lights up. When it's not right for me, it's like dead silent. Nothing, like I don't feel it. It's just like, nope, I don't want to do it, right? It's not even that. It goes beyond that because even the energy disappears. The energy that is required for me to do whatever that is, it disappears. It's almost like, like you wake up, you're like, oh, I have so much energy, and you think about checking your emails, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I need to go take a nap. Like the energy disappears. That's how I've noticed mine. Everyone is going to be different in terms of how your intuitive wisdom, your intuitive perception moves through your body. Remember, we're bringing the light online within our bodies. We're anchoring that light so that we can truly experience. We can experience the expression of the light in our lives, not just in our perception, not just hiding here, right? But actually anchoring it. So, with that said, hopefully you kind of have an inclination on how to tell the difference between your own, like your own true inner wisdom that is anchored in your divinity versus the perception that is anchored within fear, within um, distortions, within trauma, the thing that's trying to create the story to validate itself, right? Hopefully you can tell the difference between intuition and distortion. You kind of have to feel it out. So first, because I know this is one of the portals within us that tends to be clogged and closed, whether through fear or whatever that is. So we're gonna clear the portal first as the light codes are coming through, and then the light will drop down and activate it. Remember, right here is just the door. The true third eye is in the pineal gland, right at the back of our head in our brain. So you might feel a sensation there as it is being worked on. And that is okay. It might be tingly, it might be cool or warmth, right? That is okay. And if you feel it here too, that's okay too. Some people tend to feel like a tightness right here, right? Especially when your third eye is closed. They tend to feel like a tightness or like something is just, ugh, right? A headache there, right? And so as we open it up, you feel that flow, or you just know, right? Okay. So with that said, we're gonna go ahead and do the meditation. So just find a quiet spot, and close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and out. And let your breath be natural. Feel your body. We need to establish safety here by bringing our body online on this journey so that our nervous systems can relax. We're doing this through our breath and reconnecting to our body. To really feel your body and notice where you are supported. Feel the weight of your hips, your legs, your feet. And take a slow inhale through your nose and exhale longer than your inhale. Again, take a slow inhale through your nose and exhale longer than the inhale. And let the nervous system soften. Remember, clarity requires calm. And we're going to call in your higher selves to be fully present for this activation, healing, clearing, whatever it is that you need. And realignment, right? We're going to call in your divine team to come in and surround you in that beautiful golden circle of light. And now imagine, see, sense, or feel a pillar of light coming down from the divine's heart. The divine above, and it just comes all the way down through your crown, through your heart. It anchors within your heart and then continues downward out through your feet and into the earth. And then from the earth, from the center of the Divine Mother, you begin to receive this flow, this upflow of light through that channel, coming up through your feet, through your legs, through your stomach, anchoring into your heart, and then continue it upward as it comes out through the top of your head and spews all around you like a beautiful geyser. And I'll bring your awareness, or drop your awareness back into your heart, where your own divinity is awakened within through your higher self. And I'll combine all three lights, the light from the Divine Father above, the light from the Divine Mother below, and your own divinity. And you see all three merge together, creating a more powerful ball of light. And this ball of light, using your breath, it begins to expand, creating a shield all around you, an egg-like structure all around you. Take a deep breath in and out. And I'll bring your awareness to that above your head. So remember, the 6 to 12 inches above your head, above your crown. And imagine that luminous field of white gold light. Feel how steady, intelligent, and present it feels. This is your soul's memory. And here, let's go ahead and remember again. So repeat silently to yourself, I remember the light I came from. I remember who I am. And again, let that light widen slightly, or however much it needs to. There you go. And you can tell it's already, once it opens up, that light flows naturally down into your crown, right at the top of your head. You notice the light descending gently to the crown of your head. And it just simply rests there. And again, with your breath, feel the top of your head begin to soften. Notice if your breath deepens on its own. And here we're remembering and reactivating our crown chakra. So silently repeat to yourself, I am guided and I remain in my body. I am guided and I remain in my body. And again, notice, see, sense, or feel that light within your crown open up. And I'm actually seeing your crown like a beautiful flower, and the lotus flower opening up and shining brightly. And now let that light pour into your awareness. Allow the light to move down from your crown, down to the center of your head, all the way back. And you might have to enter through the center of your forehead And then move all the way back to your pineal gland, right at the back of your head, this in your brain. And just use your energy to move back and notice, what does that look like over there? What does that feel like? So take a deep breath in as you perceive your third eye portal. Do you feel like it's closed? Is it blocked? Is it cloudy, foggy? What is it like there? Really feel into that, letting the muscles around your eyes soften. You know, many of us hold tension here from thinking way too much. Release it. And now imagine the light pouring into this space. And again, I see some of you, it's actually creating like a channel from the front of your forehead into the back. And let the light pour into your third eye. And I'm seeing also allow the light to spread throughout your entire brain. And I see your brain getting activated or shining, like all the different points within your brain, like all activated. And breathe in here. And notice the light, the color of the light changing. Its frequency and also its color, moving from that luminous white to that deep indigo, almost like night sky with stars. That's the image I see. It's like clear and precise, like a lens coming into focus. Take a deep breath in. And from here, repeat to yourself, I release distortion. I release distortion. I release distortion. And I welcome clarity. And I welcome clarity. And I welcome clarity. Take a deep breath in here. And out. Rana kia tu sono moedia. Raedia karno ok urudo shiria. Meatea to corto sikieta ak arendia. Morinia kai shurum oedia. Naetia karia koko shidi. Morno koedia. Moriatia ak aretukoa. As the light codes start to flow in, bring your awareness to that third eye portal, that pineal gland right at the back of your head in your brain, and see it glowing brighter. If anything is in the way of it, see it begin to dissolve and clear. Arandai tok orandiki tia, Maria tok ormo otia, Darasatia ak aritok ormo ote, Mai tiare surum oretia kariana ak it ea, Naetia korno koia. Begin to feel seasons or feel the veil lifting. Begin to feel the veil lifting. Ariandai tiak aritukonomo. Moria tiak aritia. Maria tokoromo etia. Tiak arit ek ormo okori. Arianai tik e eshurum. Orinda aki eshurum. Orindi aki eshurum. Aritak orntuk osh area. Take a deep breath in and out. And now let's differentiate. Now bring to your mind something you've been uncertain about, and notice what your body does. Does your breath speed up? Does the chest tighten? Does the mind start racing? And now return back to the slow breath. Relax your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Deep breaths in and out. And from this calm state, feel into that same situation again. Notice how different perception feels when your body is regulated. Intuition is steady. It doesn't shout. It doesn't panic. It doesn't argue. It knows quietly. Let your nervous system memorize that sensation. And silently say this to yourself. May I see what is true. May I see without fear. May I see without projection. May I see what is true. May I see without fear. And may I see without projection. And let that indigo, that deep indigo light stabilize at the brow and also within the brain. Balanced, online, and clear. Take a deep breath in and out. And now allow that indigo light to soften and begin to flow downward through your body. It's going to flow downward through your spine, through your nervous system. So it's going to move from the third eye to the throat, to the heart, the solar plexus, to the sacral, and to the root. You don't need to rush this, so if you need to pause here to move it through, go ahead and do that. And just simply sense the descent. You don't need to force anything. Allow the light to flow. It knows where it's going. Has intelligence behind it. Feel the light moving through your legs, down through your feet, and into the space beneath you, into the earth. And imagine the light anchoring into the earth like roots of gold and indigo. Spreading in every direction. Heaven remembered, mind clarified, body included, and earth anchored. Now you can repeat this after me. I bring the light into the earth through my presence. I bring the light into the earth through my presence. I bring the light into the earth through my presence. Feel the stability of that. The light is not floating above you. It is moving through you, integrated, grounded, and whole. Now take a slow, deep breath in and a longer exhale. And feel your body fully. Now go ahead and place one hand gently over your brow and the other over your heart. And receive this prayer. May my perception be clean. May my mind be steady. May I see what is true without fear. and without projection. And if anxiety rises, may I meet it with compassion. If clarity comes, may I trust it without needing to dramatize it. May I not mistake urgency for intuition. May I not inflate imagination into prophecy. May my insight, may my inner sight be guided by calm awareness. May the light move through me. May heaven refine my perception, and may the earth anchor my knowing. I choose clarity over chaos, presence over projection, discernment over drama. I see clearly. I see clearly. I see clearly. And I remain embodied. Amen. And so it is, and so it is, and so it shall be. Take a deep breath in and out. Take another deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back. So here are 3 questions that you can contemplate or you can use it to gain clarity. The first, actually, these questions will help you make clear decisions. So before you make any decisions, pause and ask these questions. The first one is my body calm? Is my body calm? We know that clarity comes in when the body is calm. The second one is this simple, or am I building a story? We know that intuition is short and direct and simple. And projection tends to create a whole narrative. So let the nervous system settle first. And then the third one is, will this still feel true if I slow down? Will this still feel true if I slow down? We know that projection intensifies with speed, and intuition remains steady when we pause. So if it remains quiet and clear, then you know it is your insight, it is your intuition. Calm, simple, and steady. That's your intuition. Tight, detailed, urgent. That is projection. All right. I hope you enjoy this. This is one of those you can come back and just keep listening to the light language activation. And I invite you to pay attention to your dreams. So now that we've kind of cleared some stuff, remove the veil and the illusions and the distortions. Pay attention to your dream time. Pay attention to how intuition drops into your body and where it drops into and how it feels like. And take some time to write it down and jot it down. And again, if you have a big decision to make or any decisions at all to make, make sure you pause first and check in with your body. Ask yourself if it is simple, and also, asking yourself if it will still be true if you slow down, right? Remember, calm is the key here when it comes to our intuition, whether it is anchored and clear and supported, right? Or if we're trying to force something into being. Or my dears, let me know if you have any questions. Yeah. Until next time, we'll continue this journey. We'll drop into our throat another portal that is usually very, very distorted. So, whether it is closed up because of past stuff or it is too wide open and just everything is going, yeah, we're gonna bring it in alignment, anchor it into your truth, into your core. And again, do some clearing and activation there. So I will see you next time. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button and also click on the like and comment below. Send me your insights, send me your questions. I would love to hear from you. Until next time, you have a fabulous one. Bye.